Yo, what is up guys? It is Bumfris, back with another episode of Choosing Beggars. Today's episode is gonna be a banger, and I know you're gonna love this one. We are getting super close to our like goal of 3,000 likes, so if we can hit 3,000 likes on this video, tomorrow's episode of Entitled Parents will be 25 minutes long. So if you want that long episode, you know what to do. Smash the like button down below, then sit back, relax, and laugh at some Choosing Beggars. Wanted, please give me your motorhome. I am losing my house and I want to have something for me and my 6 dogs to live in. I have no money to buy one and I know a lot of people have motorhomes and never use them. Yours must be newer than 2010 and with all amenities. Fridge, TV, dishwasher, microwave, etc. Please donate your motorhome to me as I am a worthy cause. No tiny RVs please, only motorhomes bigger than about 25 feet. I know that it's not the case, and that's probably what upsets me the most, but I really wish that a post like this was just a complete joke. Like, you can't really expect someone to just give you their motorhome in the first instance, but to then start throwing conditions around it like it needs to have all amenities and be newer than 2010, you are the reason that the Choosing Beggar subreddit exists. Yet despite that, it's clear you'll never learn. Do you still have the Xbox X? I do. I'll give you $150 for it. Lol. I bet you will. Only because the 4K monitor, headset, and Elite controller. Unbelievable. The monitor, headset, and controller are not included. That is an additional $900. I'm not paying $300 for an old generation system, homie. Then don't buy it. I'll give you $75 just for the Xbox and 2 controllers. Why do the Choosing Beggars act as if treating the other person like crap is going to get them what they want? I'm immediately on the back foot if I'm getting messages like this, and quite frankly, I wouldn't even want to sell it to this person if they were offering $250. I mean, $75 for an Xbox One X, which by the way is still a current generation console until next month, is a ridiculous offer and you deserve to be laughed at along with every other Choosing Beggar. The heck? My mum could buy an $11,398 car, but can't even buy me a flagship that costs $1,600 or even an iPhone. Even more so than a Choosing Beggar, you just sound like an entitled little brat who has most likely had everything in life handed to them and has had to work for nothing. If you want your own $1,600 flagship or an iPhone, go out, get a job, and work for one. Not only will it be a great feeling when you finally achieve what you're after, but maybe it'll also make you realize that money doesn't grow on trees. Okay, well, if the buyer pulled out, then I'll only pay $650. The $800 offer was for you to ignore him. Hi mate, they haven't pulled out. I'm in a position now where I can pick who it goes to. Including the original buyer, there was also one more person who was before you. I'll check with them if they still want it first. If they don't, I can definitely still do it for the $650. Of course, if you're still offering higher, I can still sell it to you and let the extra buyer know that they missed out. $250, pick up now. That's not how it works, mate. $200 right now. It's pretty clear that this person never had any intention of paying anywhere near what this person was asking for, and his little scheme of $800 if you ignore the other buyer but $650 if they pull out, what is that about? If you're going to be a Choosing Beggar, just come out and do it. Don't pretend that you're going to pay a normal amount for something and then 5 minutes later come out and offer them 25% of the value. I offered to help my friend cater a wedding this weekend, and now the bride wants us to match the wedding party. That means buying something to wear that I can't afford. How did an offer of time and labor become an expense? You know, the idea itself of having her match the wedding party's not that big of a deal. That is, if the bride's actually willing to pay for her to do so. If not, which is clearly not the case in this story, it's completely unreasonable for the bride to expect this person to be out of pocket when all they're doing is trying to help a friend out. Maybe just a misunderstanding, but sounds like a Choosing Beggar to me. I asked a representative for a $9 discount on a screen, and this was the reply I got. Your offer is a joke, and a good part of our reputation is responding to that kind of silliness in kind. You want us to sell this part for less than our wholesale cost? That is ridiculous. I would say on par with the ridiculousness of your question. This is unprofessional and unwarranted harassment. I define unwarranted harassment as repeatedly asking for a $9 discount on a part that is being sold with an 86-cent profit margin. Then, going on to explain how your offer is reasonable and how we are being rookies by not considering your below cost offer. This is like going to a bodega and asking for a pack of cigarettes for $2.50 over and over, then acting surprised when the bodega owner asks you to leave. Asking for the pack of cigarettes for $2.50 takes balls, but staying in the bodega to argue is what Matt did. Not only is he proposing that we lose money on the sale of a part, he is doing so in a condescending and arrogant manner, a double whammy. At which point I did tell him, your offer is a joke, and a good part of our reputation is responding to that kind of silliness in kind. You want us to sell that part for less than our wholesale cost? That is ridiculous. I would say on par with the ridiculousness of your question, and I still stand by those words. We go out of our way to help people and routinely do so at below market pricing because we love what we do. This allows me to retain a clean conscience, telling degenerates like you to go F themselves when the opportunity arises. That's the beauty of being the boss. You can cut nonsense out without having to jump through red tape. Thanks for your feedback. What am I supposed to say after the owner of the business has just absolutely unloaded on this person? All because they come into their store acting like a choosing beggar. There's nothing that I can add to this that he hasn't already said. You want to come into the store and make yourself look like a fool? Well, as far as I'm concerned, this is the kind of treatment you deserve. But just a quick question so that we're both on the same page. Is it gonna be a paid work or for free? Super, thank you. Much appreciated. Let's talk about it. You tell me. Are you willing to pay or did you just want to have a collaboration for free? Listen, you have a very bad manner. Asking questions like this is completely not professional. I was going to pay you for your work, of course. What were you thinking? We are looking for someone with a good attitude, who still is in the process of learning like you and needs to build her portfolio. We are not after professionals who ask for a lot of money, rather someone small like we are, so that we both benefit from each other with payments naturally. But after your attitude, I can see that you still need to learn a lot, and I don't think that you will be the right person for our project. Best for you. Wow. Okay. It was just a simple yes or no question. If this is how this company reacts when someone asks them if it's going to be a free collaboration or they're willing to pay, I can only imagine how they would react when someone comes out and says that they only do paid work. Like, if you didn't want to pay the person, that's fine. Just come straight out and say that you don't want to pay them. Honestly, it didn't even seem like she would mind that much if they had have just come out and said that straight up. But instead, they've lost somebody who could potentially have done great work for them, and the reality is, it's all because they're a choosing beggar. Are you still selling your TV? Yes, I am, but I've already been offered the full amount, $340, by another person, so you would have to top that. Okay, how does $200 sound? I'm sorry, but that won't cut it. I just told you it would have to be more than $340. Come on, help a stranger out. I just went through a divorce and money's tight. I'm sorry to hear that, but I have a buyer who is already paying full price. You are an inconsiderate piece of crap who has no compassion for anyone. I offered a fair price and you rudely rejected me. I hope your TV never sells. Yeah, okay pal. All of your messages here make complete sense when OP literally said that they've got somebody willing to pay full price for the TV. What on earth makes you think that they're gonna take your lower offer? I must admit though, I'm surprised they didn't throw in a whole, oh, it's my son's birthday, you need to give it to me for free. So on the bright side, that's a little bit commendable at least, but you're still a pretty crappy choosing beggar. Hey there. Your wife hasn't cash apped me for Thursday yet. No rush, I'm just checking in. Right, sorry, but I was gonna ask you for a discount on last lesson as my son didn't learn anything. I'm sorry to hear that. Is he practicing what I've been teaching him in between lessons? He seems to be doing fine. Besides, he's only been playing for a few weeks. Again, I'm sorry, but I can't give you a discount because you don't think he's learning fast enough. I could give him an hour next time for the same price as 30 minutes if you'd like. My rates are very cheap already. No. We will be finding a better teacher and we won't be paying you. Good luck, but you absolutely need to pay me for the last lesson. This is my job. Nope, I am blocking you. I guess unfortunately with a story like this, it's kind of just one of those things. If you don't get cash up front, you're always putting yourself in a position where something like this could happen. But at the same time, you really shouldn't have to get cash up front because you should be able to expect that people are going to do the right thing and pay for the services that they've received. I wouldn't necessarily call this person a choosing beggar as much as just a thief and generally a pretty bad person. Honestly, what this person's done is pretty pathetic, and if I was OP, I'd probably be taking it further. In search of a dresser for my daughter, a full-size couch and a queen mattress. I broke a bone in my back and my mattress has become very uncomfortable, and if it's not too much to ask for, a bed set for a queen bed. So naturally, this person offers up this slightly weathered, you would say, leather couch, and this is her response. Not to sound like a picky a-hole, but not a fan of leather. Not to sound like a nitpicky a-hole or anything, but that's exactly what you sound like when you make a stupid comment like that. I mean, I'm not saying that it's not okay for you to turn something down. If you don't want that item, that's absolutely fine. But the way you've worded this, especially in making it clear that you're a choosing beggar, just makes the fact that you're turning it down so much worse. If you don't want something, show a bit of appreciation, be like, look, I really appreciate it, but unfortunately that's not quite what I'm after. Not that it stops you from being a choosing beggar, but at least it stops you looking like a picky a-hole like you said. Hey Steel Series. My uncle's cousin's stepmom's daughter's pet rock died last night, and their dying wish was to get a free headset. So I'm just reaching out to see if we could work something out. Thanks so much, it would mean the world to them. I mean, even though they died, but please send free. You know, I wasn't sure if this was going to be real or if somebody had gone and edited it, so I went on their Twitter just to double check, and absolutely, on the 24th of September, they made this exact post. I cannot get enough of companies taking the mickey out of people who are choosing beggars, especially when they're a company like this with such a big following, because all it does is brings light to the choosing beggars and hopefully make them feel like fools. And even better is when you realize GameStop replied to this saying, crap, I was going to use this one. That just makes a post like this absolutely fantastic. My sister smokes. Now, that's not great to start with, but on top of this, she smokes a very expensive brand of cigarettes where we live. Each pack is almost $10, and that's very pricey here, as cheap packs are like $4. I didn't really care about this when she had a job because how she spends her paychecks, at least the parts that are not being used to care for her kids, isn't really my business. But she has just quit her job. Yeah. During the current times. This happened a month or so ago because she said, and I quote, I don't want to deal with that dumb witch boss of mine anymore, and so was coasting on the money that she had saved. Well, now she's run out of money. Shocker. And instead of looking for another job, she's instead going to try and sell her car. But in the meantime, she's broke with no way to buy cigarettes. I don't smoke, so she can't bum anything off me. But our mum smokes, so my sister could technically bum a couple off her, but she doesn't because mum smokes those crappy cheap cigarettes. No, she wants her brand of cigarettes. And apparently, she's never heard of the term beggars can't be choosers. So she's been in a crappy mood for a full week because she can't afford her expensive cigarettes. She won't accept any cheap ones, and none of us are coughing up $10 to buy her a pack that she'll blow through in maybe a week. But today, I'd had enough of her crappy attitude and decided to do her a favor. I said if she would go through the Place A drive-thru for me, I could get us all some food, her kids included, then I'd help her get some gas and a pack of cigarettes. She eagerly agreed, but rejected my offer to get her any food. And Place A wasn't open yet. It was like 9:30 AM and they opened after 10 AM, so she'd have to wait until they opened. Then she sort of paused and asked if I really wanted food from Place A and not Place B, which is closer. Place B is legitimately right next to the gas station, while Place A is maybe 2 buildings down. So either way, it's still very close. I say no, as I've been craving something specific from Place A, so she relents and says okay, and that she's gonna sit outside drinking coffee until then. So maybe 20 minutes go by, and I go outside to give my sister a written list of what to get, because she has a not great memory and will forget stuff, and I get close to the side porch door, which is open, and hear her complaining about having to go through the drive-thru for me to our mum. She goes on about how I am so rude for asking her to drive so far, and how food from Place A is just so effing gross, and goes on to say how she didn't even want to do this anyway. Well, I heard our mum tell her to be grateful because nobody else was offering to buy her food, gas, and her fancy cigarettes. My sister scoffed and started saying something else, but I walked outside and she shut up. Mum and her had wide-eye looks, but I reached down, plucked my card which she was gonna use to pay everything from her hand, and just said, never mind. I don't want to burden you, so I'll order through DoorDash instead, and then walked back inside. She tried to call me back and say that she was just messing around, but I ignored her. And when it was made clear that I wasn't buying her crap or coming back, I heard her pitching a huge baby fit, and our mum laughing and telling her that she did this to herself by being ungrateful. So yeah, my sister threw a huge fit and wore herself out before going and sitting in her car for a few hours to pout. I really had no issues helping her if she did a little favor for me in return, but I'm not going to help anyone who complains about said help behind my back. This story literally had a bit of everything. It had your choosing beggar, it had your entitled parent, and it had a bit of petty revenge. As far as I'm concerned, this choosing beggar / entitled parent got exactly what was coming to her, and in fact, didn't deserve the help she was offered in the first place. All she's managed to do is further ruin the relationship she had with her sister, and now probably has no one that's willing to help her. Alright everyone, that is going to be that for today's episode of Choosing Beggars. I just want to start off by saying thank you so much for watching and I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy the video, make sure to leave a thumbs up down below. And while I've got you guys here, I want to let you know that I've received a lot of feedback regarding my audio quality lately and the fact that it has been a little bit too loud. So I've made some pretty significant adjustments to my editing and I want to know what you guys think. Leave a quick comment down below if it's improved or if there's something else that I need to change. Just a reminder quickly as well about our like goal of 3,000 for a 25-minute episode of Entitled Parents tomorrow. And that being said, on your screen right now, you're going to see two of my awesome videos, one of which I would highly suggest you click on in order to go down an amazing rabbit hole of entitled parents. But that's going to wrap things up for today's episode of Choosing Beggars. I just want to say again, thank you so much for watching. I hope you're all having a fantastic day and I'll see you guys tomorrow for another episode of Entitled Parents.